I just want to give you an overview and explain to you how we're going to do SPED 443 this year. It's going to focus on this theory here of precision teaching. And the definition of precision teaching is that you would assess, define area of weakness, and then teach exactly to that weakness, and then continue to assess to see if you're making progress in addressing that. So this is my theory, that you would work with your cooperating teacher and identify one student that you're going to work with in this endeavor. And from that, you would evaluate their IEP to see what their areas of weakness are, and then do an IEP, a file screen to see what you can find in there that would help you. And then you'll do some kind of an informal assessment in that area to determine the need, and then you'll teach a series of between 5 and 7 lessons to see if you can make progress towards that. And then you'll do another assessment, and then you'll write about this and then record your explanation. So let me take you through this. I've got about 22 slides here explaining this process and numbered in 1 to 18 steps. And I'm going to ask you to address each of these steps when you're done or on your path, and explaining how you went about this. So let's take a look. First of all, this doesn't apply if you're student teaching or doing level 3s, but you will meet with them and discuss the times that you'll work with the student, whether you come into the school or you're there already. And then this is also important. They have a meeting of the minds with them, is what is precision teaching? And you will give an explanation like I just did. That will be number 2. Your number 2 thing you'll address is this: which student will I work with? Preferably a student being served on IEP if possible. If not, that's fine. And then the one that you can meet with for between 5 and 7 learning sessions, and the length of those is open. How long it takes, how long you have, those types of things. And again, hopefully that's a meeting between you and cooperating teacher. 3, you look at the IEP in the file to determine what area to concentrate. And this may be new to you to see the file, so you'll need permission to look in the file. And then you'll start an electronic file in your wiki that was used for this 442. And then in that, under number 3, you'll report this, like IEP dates, goals, testing dates, modifications, and of course you'll redact their name and stuff. We don't need identifying stuff. And maybe even a copy of the IEP that you can put in there, but again, electronically with names redacted. That would be great, but mostly this. And then testing information, that maybe you can get a copy of that, of the IQ test, any achievement tests. And then also important, I want you to address is anything in there about behavior intervention plans. And you don't have to necessarily address this in this process, but you need to be aware of it. As we found in our studies, it's a big part of working with these kids. Okay, then the 4th step, determine area of need of that student. Work with your teacher to make that determination based on these goals or preferences, and maybe the teacher has something different she wants you to, or he wants you to work with, and that's great. But again, you're addressing each of these steps on your wiki under 443. And this is one to be a little sticky between you and your teacher, but contact that parent, let them know your intent, and get permission. And up to your teacher, do they want it to be written? Can it be verbal? But I want you to have that experience of communicating with parents. It can be, if there's agreeable, cooperating teacher, phone call, meeting, etc. Whatever you think between you and your teacher, and again, address that in your report. And then meet with the student. Let them know what's going to happen. Introduce yourself, spend a little time with them, talk about things that they may like, not like. Just get a feel, because this will be a new experience to them also. Now maybe you have a relationship with them already in student teaching or something like that, and that's all great. But again, I want you to address this, how you did this, when you write this up at the end. And then this will be, again, a little squishy, but find and administer an informal timed assessment. Now, we haven't covered this in 442, but we covered this in 420. I know you have this from other classes, but this can be a teacher-made or other, but short enough that you can work with it efficiently. What would be great is assessments between 1 to 2 minutes. Whether it's reading, math, writing, whatever it is, how can you time this? No longer a couple minutes, provide information to teach. For some, like reading speed, you may administer it every day, a continual checkup on it. And then analyze and make plans for 5 to 7 days based on that, and maybe like 5 to 7 hours total with that student over that period of time. And it could go, observe them in the regular classroom or whatever, that connection, but just get a feel for what that student's like and what they're doing. And again, you will report and all this stuff on your wiki under step 7. Then 8, you'll plot this as best you can, not only your baseline to begin with, but if you do assessment every day, you'll have a lot of data points. If you only do one, if you only do one at the end, you'll have one data point. But it lends to doing some kind of an assessment every day on what you're working on. And this can be would be best on like a Google sheet on your wiki or something like that. But something where you demonstrate that you understand this assessment and graphing it. Assessment and graphing, yes. And that would be number 8 that you would be posting that under. Number 9, with the teacher approval, include BIP. This is inappropriate, and if not, just address that there wasn't an issue. But if there is, can you have a plan, a copy of the plan with the names redacted? And this, of course, is what redacted means. And you may need to implement some of this in your working with the student. But again, you're going to address this for number 9. And then, this is a little redundant, but you're going to teach this. Record progress or notes, what you did. It'd be nice to have like a daily diary of what happened, those types of things. Decide teaching appropriate and method. Assess that progress each day of appropriate and graph. Add artifacts from a lesson in your wiki of what you did. And the easiest thing is to snap pictures, if nothing else, for heaven's sakes. Snap a picture. And this is where, too, if you want to include a picture of the student, you'll need permission from the parents to do that. And again, you'll want to work with your cooperating teacher on that process. It'd be kind of cool to have a picture, but you wouldn't dare do that without a parent permission. But each day, then, here's the second lesson, third, and it'd be great if you numbered those by dates. Here, number 13 is my 4th lesson, and that. And then some reflections on it and those types of things. But I want to see all this. And then at the end, again, a final graph where you address this. Can be the same graph that you had earlier, but that you address this again in 15 and explain, what this, be able to explain that graph as you will at the end. This is kind of interesting. I found this reading speed, media versus and font, like different fonts, how much faster they read, like from a book or an e-reader. It was kind of interesting data there. That on this one here, that was the book, but these two, with those different prints, it was the e-reader was quicker. Then 16, write a summary of everything in the experience, and this is where you can kind of do a summary of your results. Did you make progress, didn't make progress, behaviors improved, didn't improve, those things. And let me just put your mind at ease here. I don't care if you make progress or not. I want you to learn this process. It'd be great if you made progress, but if you don't, you don't. That's part of it. We studied that. What do you do if they don't make progress? Was your goal unrealistic? Was your methods not strong enough? Whatever it is, what that is, like images, video, if you have them, written summaries, those types of things. Did I hit this back here? I want to back up a little bit. Here, I forgot about this a little bit. Based on your IAP goal, okay, here. Well, what I meant to have here, I may have to add, is that you would write some kind of a short-term objective for this? What do you think are, when you find out what this is, where they're starting, what could be a short-term objective that you could think you could get to? And I'll add that in there. Okay. So we plotted, we write about it, keep calm and just write about it. And when I say write, you just address these different steps that I'm giving out to you here. And it doesn't have to go crazy, but here, what happened at each of these, and just a little summary of it. You have this back here that you already put up here for each of these lessons. Now here, just a little summary of what that was. And this is under 16, you'd have some of this stuff. And then 17, you would contact this parent again. Give me the form of communication that is agreeable, the same, different, something like that. But again, you address that, how that went. And then 18, this is the big one. You're going to record your explanation. You are going to go into your Chrome, and if you don't have this downloaded, you will. You'll add this extension. It's called Screencastify, and record your screen as you explain your entire process. This is a Chrome extension, and you upload this into your YouTube account. And you all have one because you have a Google account, and then you link this video, YouTube video, into your wiki. And you can make it unlisted if you're worried about this. How you do that is there's a setting, privacy setting. It can be public, which the videos I record for you are, or unlisted. Means it can't be searched, or private, and then you have to share it with somebody specifically. And you can do that too if you like, but it's up to you. Make sure you address that. And you find this online if needed. So there's all kinds of help for this if you need that. Okay. How long? I don't know. You decide how long it should be. Just do a nice job of explaining those different steps. Just go through all those and talk about what you did and stuff like that. Then here's how I thought I would grade. Like there'd be 100 points for the work with the student, the cooperating teacher, and then 100 points for how you summarized all of that and wrote that up. This is the writing and stuff. This is the work, this is the writing, and then another 100 points for this audio summary of it, for a total of 300 points. Okay, and I have a little joke down here for you. And then this, here I want to say this to you, it's a work in progress. We may need to make changes. Cooperating teachers, feel free to deviate as you see necessary. Students, if you need to make suggestions, do it. I mean, if you're struggling with this, make changes to it. It's not exact. It's not going to be perfect, especially when it comes to working with the student stuff. Do the best you can. I want you to learn the process more than make sure you get an outcome product that you want. Okay. SPED 443.